Hello, Internet, and welcome to episode 138 of Verbal Graffiti with your host, Brian Glass, aka the B-Man, the People's Degenerate, Stefan Diggs, on his yacht with a bunch of hood rats. Let's discuss. And yes, those were hood rats. Can you be a hood rat if you're not in the hood? Are they seaside rats, should we call them? Ocean rats, whatever. I'm going to use the term hood rats just to describe these little fiends. Were on the yacht with Stefan Diggs, and he had that pink cocaine. B-Man, I am a novice when it comes to cocaine. I am yet to do cocaine. I'm not saying I will never partake in the little up the nose, but as of yet, it does not appeal to me. We've talked about this, but I can't tell you the difference between regular white baking soda cocaine and the pink cocaine. Maybe when you're sniffing the pink cocaine, it makes you hop around and just scammer like you're the Pink Panther and nobody hears you coming in and out of every door or in and out of every yacht. So I can't speak to what pink cocaine is, but I do know when those hood rats, when they saw Stefan Diggs pull out the pink cocaine, if that's what it was. That's what they're telling me on the internet it is. Those fiends, those hood rats were jumping up and down like rabbits, like, give me. I want your celebrity. I want your pink cocaine. I want it all. I want you to impregnate me. I want to be your baby daddy. I want to get dizzy. I want to be Pink Panther on this yacht. That's why you can't have hood rats on your yacht. The yacht. Now let's backtrack a little bit, the B-Man here, and explain. Not all yachts are equal. All right, you have your millionaire, celebrity, athlete yacht, which is mid-size. Think a mid-size sedan, but it's on the ocean and it's elegant. But then there are billionaire, oil typhoon, Elon Musk, Zuckerberg type yachts that are the size of lakes. Like that we're mid-size. We're here. Celebrity. Stefan Diggs, I don't know how much he worth, $50 million. So his yacht, it's not a boat, but it's not a small city either. So what I'm getting at is there's not enough space on a Stefan Diggs sized yacht to invite hood rats onto your yacht. Now, if you're Zuckerberg and your yacht is the size of Manhattan, yeah, invite all the hood rats, all the sexual, I don't know, sexual partners from countries that we don't know how to pronounce. Invite all of them you want. But when you're on just a normal size yacht, if you can make a statement like that, a normal size yacht, and you invite these hood rats who are after your money and after your penis and after your brightly colored drugs, they become a nuisance. Like the video of Stefan Diggs when the babes are jumping up and down, like give me. I want some of that pixie stick. Give me some of that pink powder. Give me some of it. I want to touch your muscles. Like, it's fun for a video. It's fun for. It makes you look like a baller. But after that 30-second clip, it just becomes annoying. They do your pink drugs, they snort it all, and then you go down below deck, right? You do whatever you do. You're below, right? They do your below, then you do your below on their face, or maybe whatever deviant activities you're doing. But once you're done with that, what do you do with your hood rats? You come up above deck. You've relieved your nut, you have post-nut clarity, and then you just got all these hanger-on hood rats that are probably annoying as fuck, just orbiting around you. Like, dude, I gave you my drugs. All right, I gave you my nut on your face. Now, get out of my way. Like, stop, be quiet. It's tough to tell a babe, a hood rat that you're on a yacht with, or after you've given her cocaine, to be quiet and shut the fuck up. That's an impossibility to do that. And that's why Stefan Diggs, he does yacht wrong. What you want to bring on the yacht, I believe it might have been during COVID, maybe 21, 22. There was an NFL draft where the owner, Jerry Jones of the Cowboys, he did his pick from his yacht, and he had one babe with him. And that's what you want to do. Jerry Jones, I'm not sure how old he is. He's a White Walker at this point. And the babe with him, it looked like she was in her maybe early 50s. So, she was 30, 40 years his younger. But that's, you want one lady on your yacht. A lady you've had experiences with before going on a yacht. You want the girlfriend experience. When you have a yacht and you're going to be stuck in the ocean in whatever body of water you're going to be in, you don't want hood rats that are listening to music and snorting all your drugs, drinking your alcohol, going in your phone, trying to blow up your marriage. You want the high-end escort who's elegant, who knows how to be a girlfriend, dresses appropriately for the occasion, for a yacht. Right, who knows all the forks to use and the spoons and knows and can tell you the difference between a Cabernet and a white wine and can talk about arts and can talk about football and can talk about theater. You want a lady with some type of intellect who's also a whore, but can convey elegance, womanhood, femininity. And that's what Jerry Jones had. I don't know who that babe was in that draft, but she was there and you knew who she was, but she wasn't in your face about it. She was like, yeah, I'm an escort. I keep Jerry company. He pays me for my services and we're going to do what we do. But I'm not going to be a burden to him. All right. Because I'm being paid to be here, and I'm a girlfriend. I'm gonna be his side piece for this boat ride, and he's gonna do his business while I'm in the background. And when he wants me underneath him, I'll get underneath him and serve him well. And that's who you want on a yacht, especially if you don't have a Mark Zuckerberg type yacht. The yacht should be reserved for the high-end escort, someone you have had previous experiences, nights with, a lady that is not a nuisance, that is not a menace, who's not jumping up and down like a little rattlesnake. And rattlesnakes don't jump up and down, but just like a little toddler. They were little toddlers pulling at his shorts, board shorts. Like, please, Stefan, give me the pink cocaine. I want the pink cocaine. Oh my God, am I on camera? Get this. We got Stefan Diggs. We got the Pink Panther drugs. No, you want somebody who's in a cocktail dress in the background by your side, just enough of a smile that everybody knows who she is, what her place is, what your place is. It's not as blatant. You do not want someone blatant on your yacht, because a yacht is just a fancy word for a boat. Like, what do? You get your nut on her face. You put her on a raft and put her back to shore? Like, no, she's got to stay on that yacht with you as long as you're on that yacht. So to have a handful of hood rats that are using you and you're using them, but it's just like, when you're on a boat, you should be relaxing. And when I saw these hood rats with Stefan Diggs, although he must have felt like a baller in the moment, like a wide receiver one in the moment, that he is, after the moment, and after your drugs, and after your nuts, Yeah, all he probably wanted to do, Stephon Diggs, that is, after turning those babes into Pink Panther and turning them out, was to get off that yacht. And if I'm going to be on a yacht, I want to stay on a yacht. So I need to have a high-end escort whose company I enjoy, even when we're not being serviced. So to Stephon Diggs and all the other NFL and professional athletes out there, if you need some yacht advice, come to the B-Man. All of us here at Verbal Graffiti, we'll hash it out before you go out to sea. Moving along, keeping the sports team going along. This one comes from the subreddit Little League. I bet you Stephon Diggs played Little League baseball at one point in his lifetime. Saw the dark side of our sport. And I don't think he's talking about Stephon Diggs on a yacht, but let's see what this poster has to say. And of course, it was parents as usual. I coach a 6 and under team. This weekend, we play games Friday, Saturday, Sunday, one being a makeup because of rain. Friday, the game was 7 p.m. One of my kids is a consistent base hitter. His dad is constantly on him to run better. After the game, he made him do sprints for 30 minutes on a nearby soccer field after the game because he didn't run hard enough. So 8 p.m. for a 6-year-old. Yeah. Sunday, I watched my assistant coach spank a 4-year-old in the dugout for crying after being thrown out at first. He rarely gets a hit, so I was encouraging him for making contact, but his dad had other ideas. Well, right away, you should have kicked that coach out of your dugout. You cannot tell another parent how to be a parent. But that dugout is your dugout. You're the head manager. You're the skipper. So if you saw an assistant coach spanking his son, a 4-year-old, get the fuck out of my dugout. Get the fuck. Take your helmet. Take your hat. I'm relieving you of your duties. You cannot be physically assaulting a teammate in our dugout. That is not allowed. You got to fight him. Once you saw the 4-year-old being spanked, that's physical assault. In public, you got to fight that father on the spot. And if you're not going to fight him, kick him out of your dugout. Tell him he's not allowed to be assistant coach ever again. And if he gets in your face and he's bigger than you, so you're going to lose that fight, take your phone out and record the father spanking his son, send it to the league administrators, and get him banned from the league forever. Because that's a terrible parent. You should never be abusing children. We joke. We joke about slapping around floozies and boyfriends and bouncers here, but you cannot hit a 4-year-old. Even if he is a slow runner and he doesn't run in the base path and he never gets a hit, you can get frustrated, but you can never hit a child, especially if you're a coach on the team. So that guy, you gotta get into a fight with that father. At the very least, a verbal altercation, and let it be known to him and all the parents that are there in the moment that type of abuse will not be allowed on your team in your dugout. And if you guys start cursing him out and making a scene, well, hey, dude, he was spanking his son, like embarrassing his son in front of his friends, his teammates, scorched earth. You could have done it. You could have hit him with a bat, the father that is, and I would have been on your side. The fact that you didn't do anything in that moment, that you ran to Reddit to write a post, you should be relieved of your coaching duties for not stepping in that moment. And I know I'm speaking. There's just the whole Little League youth sports. The fact that you had a game on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, That's a disgrace. It's a disgrace to Little League. Like Little League baseball, like until you get the age of, I don't know, sixth grade, what is that? Like 12, 13 years old. The league should be like this. You have one practice a week for 60 minutes, no longer than 90 minutes. And then you have a game on Saturday morning, and that's it. All right. Having games on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday as a 6 and under Little League team, that is like the state labor law should shut down the league for that type of having played that much baseball when you're that young. That's part of the reasons why the B-Man does not have a family. All right? The first reason we all know is because there's no babes out there that will allow the B-Man to nut, put my semen inside of her vagina and up her uterus. But number two is because I do not want to spend every weekend, all weekends, like 50. So what's Little League baseball? April through July. So you're spending 4 months every weekend, Friday, Saturday, Sunday on the baseball field. No, thank you. No, thank you. This is T-ball, right? 6 and under is T-ball. There's a T, there's a bat. You do not need to be doing that on a Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Saturday morning, a 60-minute game. You play 6 innings or 1 hour, whichever one comes first, game over, move on, enjoy your weekend as a parent. So this league is ruining parents' lives, and these parents are ruining their kids' lives. So I'm almost thankful for not being a parent, because Little League sports have gotten. You need to see. This is where you're gonna be relieved of your coaching duties, but you need to have a meeting and hold your ground. And you need to go out on your shield. You need to call a team meeting with the parents only and tell these parents directly, hey, this is a 6 and under league. All right. The purpose of this season is for these kids, toddlers, to have fun. Fun first, fun last. That is all I care about. Yes, it'd be nice if we learn about teamwork, responsibility, maybe the basics of baseball, and maybe hopefully fall in love with the beautiful game that is the American pastime, baseball. But that is it. Every kid's going to play equal playing time. This is 6 and under. If any of you have a problem with that, if I see any parent abusing verbally or physically his child, teammates, at the baseball field or before the game, during the game, or after the game, I see you doing sprints on a softball field or a soccer field, you are off you're not allowed at the field with your son or daughter. And if you refuse, then you're off the team. Now, this is what's going to happen. You're going to tell this to the parents. The assistant coach who abused his child by spanking him on the bench, and then the other parent who was making his son do sprints at 8:30 p.m. as a 6-year-old. That's fucking ridiculous. They're going to cause an insurrection, and you're going to get canned from your coaching duties, and the assistant coach is going to end up taking over your spot. But that's okay. Yeah, because you held your ground. You're morally still intact. You spoke up. You can be proud of yourself. And yes, you'll never get to coach your son again, but your son will probably grow up to love you. You'll probably be able to go to baseball games and have a beer and have a pass with him and have a relationship with your son when he grows up. And that's what's most important. These other parents, they will not. All their sons will grow up to be domestic abusers, have abuse alcohol, will be troublemakers because our parents are putting so much pressure on them. And somebody's got to tell these parents. And at B-Man, I am the one who's going to tell all these parents who are treating their children, who are playing sports as 6-year-olds, like they're professional athletes making $30 million. Well, the B-Man's here to tell you this, and I'm telling it to your face. All right. Your son is 6 years old. All right. All right. He's not black. Yeah, but his mother's a fatty with no athletic ability. You, the father, you never got past high school baseball. Your kid is never going to play professional sports. He's never going to play Major League Baseball. So stop acting like this is the first year of a 30-year career that's going to make him $50+ million. It's not going to happen. He's not black. Yeah, your wife has no athletic ability. She's pushing 200 pounds. You barely started JV in high school. Let your kid play the sport and enjoy it. And let him be. Enough with the pressure. These parents, call DCF. Like, put the handcuffs on them. The travel league and all that. I feel bad for the kids who have these types of parents who just put so much pressure on them and make them play in multiple leagues and yell at them after games and make them do drills when they make a mistake. It's like, dude, when I was playing high school, I started JV basketball my junior year. I remember the coach, this game's so important. It's going to... we got to go out there and win. Give it your all. Buckley High School, we got career high school. We got to go in. You got to give it everything you got, because if you don't, you're going to regret it. And I never had that mindset. Even during the game, I was just like, this game doesn't matter. Right? We're 16, 17. It's a high school game. 20 years from now, our win-loss record will have no impact on our lives. And 20 years later, that was an accurate assessment. A win, lose a game on Tuesday night, it does not matter. And that was high school. And right now we're talking about 6-year-olds. These parents should be embarrassed of themselves. They should give their kids up for adoption. They should have to go to anger management counseling. I am so over youth sports. And I don't even have a child. So, you should have fought that parent, that assistant coach. You should have strangled him and taught him a lesson in that dugout. I'm ashamed at you for not doing that, but you got to stand up. You got to grow some balls and protect your team, your 6-year-olds, because their parents, they're not doing it. Let's go look at some photos. Episode 138, segment 2. Please like, share, subscribe. Show a real, verbal graffiti with a parent you know that does not spank his or her child, especially in the dugout during a 6 and under youth Little League baseball game. I have so many thoughts and frustrations with youth sports. We're really at a point in America, in our culture, where we need to regulate youth sports. As I said previously in the first segment, 1 practice a week, 1 game a week until you're 12, 13 years old. Then, and fuck the travel sports. You don't need to travel to another state, to another district to play a team. There's 350 million people in the USA, probably more. There are enough kids in your town, in your neighborhood, where you don't need to be driving 2 hours to play a game on Saturday afternoon, so you can't watch college football because you got to watch your kids kick a soccer ball. Enough of that travel bullshit. But I think once you hit 13, we should have a test. All right? Are you black? Can you line everybody up, run a 40. Can you run a 40 in under 5 seconds? If not, go to science camp. You are done with sports. Do a vertical. Can you jump at least 25 to 30 inches? If not, learn some mathematics. Do some stretching. If you have if you can't touch your toes, learn how to read a book. There's got to be certain physical metrics. Let's look at your genetics, your family tree. Look at your parents. Are they both under 5'10"? You are not allowed to pick up a basketball ever again while you're alive. Are your parents, did they ever play real sports? If not, focus on your academics, on a trade. You get to the point, if you're wasting your time, you're wasting your child's potential in whatever sphere that they might have potential in because they're fucking playing lacrosse when they're 15, when both their parents are 5'8" and their kid is running a 5.5 second 40-yard sprint. Like, you're wasting it. We're wasting everybody's time and potential. We just gotta have the NFL has a combine where the college players, after they play college, there's a combine to see what their physical and mental metrics are, and then the teams choose who they want to draft. Same, we got to do it with every 13-year-old in the country. We find the genetic freaks who are super fast and jump super high and who are super coordinated. You get to play sports. Everybody else, you suck. You're like the B-man. You're not going to get past JB. So why the fuck are we going to waste our time with you? And I'm that's it. That's it. If you ain't running a 40 in under 5 seconds, I don't want to see you on a field. I don't want your parents to have to waste their time dragging your fat, slow, unathletic ass to the football field, to the baseball diamond, to the basketball. Just enough with the youth sports. Enough. Hit the ball, play wiffle ball, go swimming, let kids be kids. I hate youth sports, and it's why I'm not going to have kids, because a few things irritate me more than parents the overbearing parents that are slapping their kids in the dugout. All right, let's have some more fun. This comes from the subreddit Sanctuary. I need a sanctuary. My Dom ended things with me because I caught feelings for him. Do tell. We've been seeing each other for 3 months. Perfect. Not that long, I know, but this is my first true DS dynamic, so Dom sub. We saw each other every weekend or every other weekend 2 weeks ago. While a bit drunk, we were messaging, and I confessed to him that I caught feelings. Last weekend was my birthday, and he came over and brought me a cupcake filled with birthday candles, and we celebrated together. Today, he came over and ended things because he isn't open to much emotions and doesn't want to hurt me. I'm devastated. I can't stop crying. I had so many firsts with him, and he just ended up dumping me like I was nothing. I weep with you. The B-man, if I knew how to cry, I would cry on command for you, because on the inside, I feel your pain, and your pain is justified. You did nothing wrong. We're all here on your side here at Verbal Graffiti. You led with your vagina, with your hands tied behind your back, literally, and you caught feels. There's nothing wrong with that. That is the correct emotions to have, no matter how much everybody in our culture tries to tell us that's not how we're supposed to feel. I'm sorry. You're fucking this dominant guy this emotionless, the Game of Thrones character. Who's a character on Game of Thrones? All right, that was like fucking 10 years ago. Whatever. This guy has no emotion. He was literally coming over every weekend, using you as his personal piñata, right? Being a dom, slapping you around, consensually, of course, tying you up, giving you rug burns, dipping his dick inside of you, and all consensual every weekend. And heaven forbid, you caught some feelings for him. Newsflash to everybody listening. That's how it's supposed to happen. If you have sex with somebody once, twice, 3 times, and more, you're probably going to catch feelings for that person. Maybe even, heaven forbid, love that person. That's kind of how the species has not become extinct. You fuck, you continue to fuck because you care about each other, you produce offspring, and then the cycle repeats itself with your offspring. That's how you get a family tree. That's how you get 350 plus million people in a country who are savages when it comes to youth sports. But that, everyone in society today, on the internet, is telling us don't catch feelings. Like, it doesn't matter, whatever it is. You got a situationship, a friends with benefits, a fuck buddy, a DS, a dom sub. You see each other every week, every other weekend. There's not, like, that's what happens. You could call it whatever you want, but one of the parties, the one with a heart, with a soul, is going to catch feels. And I'm with you. It's hard for the B man. All right, I'll just say it right now. Like, I'm sorry, the B man. How shall I eloquently put this? All right, if the tip of my penis touches your IUD, yes, I'm going to have feelings for you. I'm sorry. I might even fall in love with you. And I don't want to feel like an oddball for that being the case. Like, stop looking at me and the subordinate right here in this poster. And stop giving us the stink eye, the weird look. Like we're the weird ones. Like, no. You're the weird ones. The ones who are just fucking emotionalists, that's using people as a fuck doll, and then they walk away like, well, why do you have feelings for me? What? Dude, that's strange. Like, no, you're the strange ones. The people who fuck and walk away without any emotions, and then when the person you fucked, it's like, hey, I kind of like that. Can we continue to do that? And then that gives me the ick. Like, no, you're the weird ones. You're the weird ones. Hundreds of thousands of years. You fuck. You admit that you like doing so, and you continue to cohabitate and you reproduce. That is normal. Whatever the fuck today is with fuck buddies and situationships and polygamy, I'm not saying it's wrong, but but don't stop giving us the stink eye. I'm sick of getting the stink eye just because I touch your IUD and I might not have feelings for you, or this nice young lady here getting tied up, slapped around, a chastity belt being put on. And I don't know what the fuck this sub dom. Like, I'd be a terrible dom. No, I'm dominant in bed, but I don't know how to tie a knot. Like, I barely know how to tie my sneakers. It's laughable. It would be laughable to ask the B-man to put a slip knot on your hands and you tie you up into bed. Like, I don't know how to tie a knot. Like, I was never on a boat. I could tell you how to act on a yacht, but I don't know how to tie a boat up and go out to sea. Like, I don't know anything when it comes to knots and the balls and chains. Like I need a direction, man. Like, I need a YouTube manual on how to do it all. And I might be able to tie you up, but I would not be able to untie you without a sharp pair of scissors as I itch my nose. So, in your situation, I sympathize with you. I ache on the inside, not the same ache you have, but like, I ache for your ache. I hope that makes sense. All I can tell you to do is that you did nothing wrong. Right? You're listening to your uterus. You're listening to your heart, and you were honest with your feelings to this guy. I'm not going to call him a dirtbag. I just think he's warped by modern culture and what they tell you should do in regards to sex and relationships. So you did nothing wrong. I think what you should do is take all the dominant tools that you have, the ropes, the chastity belts, the what do you call it, the ball gag, the whips and the chains, get a fire pit, put all those sex toys on the fire pit, put some gasoline on that bitch, light it on fire, do a rain dance around it, and pray to the gods that another dom will come into your life. And it seems like you like being a sub, so I'm certain that within a year or two, you will find another dom. It won't be as good as the first dom, because the first dom is always the best dom. But you'll find somebody that knows how to do a slip knot and use you as a piñata. So look forward to that. And I think life's going to work out for you, because you do know how to do a relationship right. You said that you saw your partner, your dom, that is, what was it, once every weekend or once every other weekend? That is the perfect relationship. That is what the B-Man wants. That is what all lovers should strive to have. Is to see your partner once per week, once every 2 weeks. Anything more than that is overkill and is going to ruin the relationship. Couples that live together, that cohabitate, I don't know how they still love each other. That's probably why most of them don't. Like, once I've seen all of your panties, the fun is over, and I want nothing to do with you. It's like, all right, like, once I've seen all your undies, all your undergarments, it's like, well, what else is there to do? Like, I can't be a dom. I don't know how to tie knots, so I'm just into normal dominant sex, like, not dom sub sex. So, like, after I've seen all that, it's like, all right, well, like, I don't care about your family, so I don't want to go on vacation with them. And so it's like, yeah, time to move on. But if you see each other once per week or a couple times a month, you can prolong that relationship into a lifelong relationship. And that seems to be how you're doing it, where you see each other once, you're dom, you see them once every week, once every 2 weeks, and then your only communication is via text or when you're drunk. Perfect girlfriend. If only I knew how to tie a knot. Maybe the B-Man would be the perfect man for you, but I am not. And I hope you do find a dom in the future. And I'm certain that you will. Let's continue reading A Salesman's Wife by the author John Lawrence. We are on the top of page. I should be more professional and know what page we are on beforehand. I thought I did. Nope, we are. Okay, we are at the top of page 149. We will read 2 pages together aloud, as we always do. "Don't talk back to me," he screamed savagely, and suddenly smacked her across the face with the back of his hand. "Do as I say." Mavis's cheek burned hotly from the blow, but she knew it was useless to protest. Justin was like a demon now, and if she didn't do as he said, there was no telling how violent he might become. "All right," she said meekly. "I'll do whatever you want." Good. What I want is to see you press your face in Pamela's cunt. That's what I want, right now." Obediently, the naked woman turned and went toward Pamela's cowering form. The young housewife was shaking with shame and humiliation. Carlsberg had fucked her brutally only minutes before, with no preparation, no wine, no tenderness. His assault had bruised her painfully and filled her with revulsion and loathing, yet she was powerless to do anything about it. She was trapped, completely trapped, and now she began to realize that her degradation was not completed, for Carlsberg was going to force his wife to make love to her. It was beyond belief. First to be fucked by both father and son, and now with a woman. It was the most sinful, wicked thing imaginable. Tears cascaded down her face in agony. Mavis Neve knelt before the cringing young woman and carefully spread her legs apart to expose her glistening public V. "Wait!" Carlsberg called out suddenly. "Wait! I have a better idea. Mavis, lie on your back and let's see how Pamela has learned in the last few days, eh? Let's see how she's learned her lessons. No, No! Pamela groaned as she realized what the deranged doctor had in mind. Please! But Carlsberg was not to be stopped. He strode to her and gripped her arm, forcing her to rise. Now, my pretty little flower, he growled as he forced her toward his naked wife. Why don't you show Mavis how much you love her? Love her now. When she came face to face with Mavis, Pamela became paralyzed with humiliation. She couldn't conceive of touching or kissing another woman. It was a horrible idea. She stood with her eyes closed, trying to fight the tears back, her body trembling in fear and revulsion. Go on, Carlsberg screamed at them. Go on, I command you. Mavis sensed the young wife's fear and decided to take the situation in hand before her husband went completely berserk. She moved closer to her terrified young woman, reached out her slender white arms, and drew Pamela into an embrace. Go suck a fat one.